If you thought the MotoGP silly season was over once Ducati made their big decision, you have not been paying attention. Now, if you want to stay up to date with all the goings on in MotoGP, you have to subscribe here. Help us grow on YouTube. And a little fun fact, I basically respond to every comments. So come join the fun. So to recap, Marc Marquez goes to factory Ducati next to Pecco Bagnaia. Jorge Martin says goodbye to one Italian manufacturer and hello to another as he goes over to Aprilia. But what about Jorge Martin's brand new teammate? I mean, Aprilia lineup looks pretty strong with Jorge Martin and Maverick Viñales, but we all know, one, Aprilia wants an Italian rider on their bike, and two, Maverick Viñales would much rather be a number one rider than a number two rider. Now, I know Aleix Espargaro was already the number one there, and Maverick was playing kind of second fiddle, but that was because Aleix was the captain. He was ingrained in the culture, and he was the one that really petitioned to bring Maverick over. And now that Aleix was leaving, I think Maverick thought he was going to become the number one rider there. But with Jorge Martin signing a big contract, being the top points leader right now in this year's championship, yeah, that's not going to happen, Mav. So Maverick decided to look at the writing on the wall and said, you know what, KTM GasGas doesn't look too bad right now. And weirdly, Enea Bastianini, coming from Ducati, losing his seat to Marc Marquez, said, yeah, I'm with you, bro, let's team up. And we've already talked a little bit about how Maverick Viñales would be eager to get out of Aprilia with Jorge Martin coming in. But why was Enea Bastianini ready to leave Ducati? I mean, he could have had a Pramac seat, a Gresini seat, maybe VR46. Why KTM? Well, picture this. You get your dream job, the one you really, really want. And 2 years into the job, and half of that, by the way, you've been sick and injured, your employer says, yeah, we're replacing you. Are you really going back to an entry-level position in that company after you've sat at the big table? I don't think so. And KTM has shown that they care about performance. They've moved Pedro Acosta from that GasGas team to the factory team because of his performance. So if Viñales or Bastianini can perform the same, they know there's a spot there to move up to the big table, a factory seat. That's what all of these guys are after, besides world championships. They want to be full factory MotoGP riders. And speaking of full factory MotoGP riders, last year, Marco Bezecchi said no to a deal with Pramac Ducati because he was waiting for a factory seat. Now, I think a lot of us out here thought he was eyeing that factory Ducati seat, which he probably was. But a not so great start to this season on that 2023 bike has kind of, put a fork in that. But that doesn't mean that Marco Bezecchi isn't a massively talented rider and that another Italian manufacturer would come to him with a factory bike. And before we get started about how, he's leaving Rossi and he's abandoning and betraying, no, that's not how this works. Rossi wants his VR46 Academy riders to be on factory motorcycles. And Bezecchi is the fourth rider from the VR46 Academy to ride a full factory bike. That's an incredible statistic, by the way. 4 riders from the same camp. So what do these moves mean for the rest of the grid? Well, obviously we don't know because silly season is silly season because it's silly as hell and we have no idea really what's going on and there's a ton of speculation and no one knows anything until they actually get landed. But it looks like Joan Mir is going to stay with Honda. There's talks that he's going to re-up with his contracts. We already know Luca Marini is there, which still leaves open seats at Gresini, VR46, Pramac, Yamaha. Pramac could go to Yamaha. There's so much more crazy to come.